Sometimes, the person who falls the hardest for you is not older, wiser, or more experienced. It is someone younger, and most men completely misread why it happens. They think it is about excitement, attention, or novelty. But the real reason goes much deeper, and by the end of this, you are going to understand the 7 psychological triggers that make a younger woman become emotionally attached to a man she feels genuinely safe with. One of these reasons is so subtle that most men destroy it without even noticing. You can always tell when attraction becomes more than curiosity. Her energy changes. The way she watches you changes. Even silence around you starts feeling different. A younger woman who is truly drawn to you does not just respond to your words. She studies your emotional presence. That is where it begins. Most men do not realize this, but younger women are constantly surrounded by noise. Fast conversations, surface-level attention, men trying too hard, people performing confidence instead of actually having it. So when she meets someone who feels emotionally grounded, it affects her more than she expects. Not because you are perfect, because you feel rare. That is the first reason. You make her nervous system relax. Pay attention to this part because it explains almost everything. Attraction is not only visual, it is emotional chemistry mixed with psychological safety. A younger woman may laugh with many people, flirt with some, and entertain attention from others. But the man she becomes deeply attached to is usually the one who makes her feel calm without making her feel bored. That combination is powerful. Most people create emotional chaos and call it passion. But real emotional connection often feels quiet at first. She notices that conversations with you do not drain her. She notices you are not constantly trying to impress her. You do not chase every second of validation. And because of that, she slowly starts lowering emotional walls she did not even know she had. Here is where it gets interesting. The calmer you are, the more emotionally loud you become in her mind. Because calm confidence is rare now. Anyone can act dominant for 5 minutes. Anyone can fake mystery online. But emotional steadiness is difficult to perform consistently. Younger women notice this faster than most men think. And once she associates you with emotional peace, she starts craving your presence without fully understanding why. The second reason is something most men accidentally ruin. You make her feel understood without judging her. A lot of younger women feel constantly analyzed. Friends judge them. Social media pressures them. Family expectations pull them in different directions. So, when she meets someone who listens without immediately correcting, controlling, or lecturing her, it creates a different kind of attraction. Not loud attraction, deep attraction. Imagine this. She tells you something slightly embarrassing. Maybe a fear, maybe a mistake, maybe a side of herself she usually hides. Most men either try to fix it instantly or turn it into a joke because discomfort makes them nervous. But you stay calm. You understand the emotion behind her words instead of reacting to the surface. That changes everything, because now she feels emotionally seen. And people become addicted to feeling understood. This is why younger women often become emotionally attached to older emotional energy, not necessarily older age. There is a difference. A man can be young and still carry grounded energy. Another can be older and still behave emotionally immature. What matters is the emotional experience she has around you. And when she feels safe revealing her real thoughts, attachment starts growing quietly, slowly, then all at once. The third reason is subtle but extremely important. You are not trying to control her. Most men think attraction grows through pressure, constant texting, constant monitoring, constant attempts to secure reassurance. But emotional pressure creates emotional exhaustion, especially for someone younger who already feels crowded by expectations. A woman feels closer to you when she chooses you freely. Remember that. If she feels like she has to constantly prove loyalty, explain herself, or manage your insecurity, the emotional excitement fades quickly. But when she feels trusted, something unusual happens. She starts investing emotionally on her own. That is real attraction. She begins wondering what you are thinking. She starts replaying conversations. She notices small details about you because your energy does not feel desperate. The emotional space you give her becomes the exact space where her feelings grow. Most men never understand this dynamic. They suffocate attraction while trying to protect it. A younger woman becomes deeply attached when she feels emotionally free around you, not emotionally trapped by you. Now listen carefully, because this next reason changes how she sees you completely. You make her feel emotionally feminine without forcing roles. This has nothing to do with outdated stereotypes. It is psychological polarity. Around chaotic men, women often become emotionally guarded, hyper-alert, defensive. They feel like they must manage the emotional atmosphere themselves. But around a grounded man, her energy softens naturally. She laughs differently. She speaks more openly. Her body language becomes lighter, not because you demanded it, because your presence created emotional permission. Most men overlook this completely. They focus only on attraction techniques instead of emotional impact. But younger women are highly sensitive to emotional atmosphere, more than they admit. When your energy feels stable, patient, and emotionally clear, she stops feeling like she has to perform strength every second, and that feeling becomes addictive, especially in a world where everyone is pretending not to care. Here is where most men get confused, though. Being emotionally grounded does not mean being emotionally unavailable. Silence alone is not mysterious. Cold behavior is not strength. Younger women can sense emotional avoidance faster than ever now. The attraction comes from emotional self-control, not emotional absence. There is a huge difference. The fourth reason is one most people underestimate. You challenge her emotionally without humiliating her. A younger woman becomes fascinated by a man who expands the way she thinks, not through arrogance, through perspective. Maybe you notice patterns other people miss. Maybe your conversations feel deeper than the usual shallow exchanges she hears every day. Maybe you stay composed during situations where others become reactive. That creates emotional intrigue. She starts feeling like there is more to discover about you. And curiosity is one of the strongest emotional hooks in human psychology. Think about it. People rarely obsess over what feels fully predictable. The mind naturally moves toward emotional mystery, not toxic confusion, meaningful depth. There is a difference between someone who plays games and someone who simply has layers. You do not reveal everything instantly. You are comfortable with silence. You are comfortable with yourself. That confidence quietly pulls her in. Most men talk too much when they want to impress someone. They overshare, over-explain, over-perform. But a younger woman often becomes attached to the man who leaves emotional space for her imagination to enter. Pay attention to this part. Attraction grows stronger when emotions are felt gradually, not forced immediately. That is why anticipation matters. That is why emotional pacing matters. And that is why she keeps thinking about you long after conversations end. The fifth reason might surprise you. You make her feel emotionally protected, not physically impressed. A lot of men believe attraction is built through image alone, status, appearance, lifestyle. And yes, those things can create attention. But emotional attachment works differently, especially for younger women searching for emotional certainty in an uncertain world. She asks herself one question unconsciously. Can I emotionally relax around this person? Not every man creates that feeling. Some create excitement, but also anxiety. Others create attraction, but not trust. The rare man creates both emotional chemistry and emotional safety simultaneously. That combination is unforgettable. Maybe you stay calm during conflict instead of exploding emotionally. Maybe you communicate clearly instead of disappearing. Maybe your actions feel consistent instead of unpredictable. Those things seem small, but psychologically they create massive emotional impact. Consistency is attractive now because inconsistency has become normal. Most men do not realize how deeply younger women notice emotional reliability, not because they want perfection, because emotional steadiness feels secure in a world filled with temporary attention. And when she starts trusting your emotional consistency, her feelings intensify naturally. No force required. The sixth reason is hidden in the smallest moments. You make her feel chosen in a genuine way, not possessed, chosen. There is a difference most men never learn. Possession says, you belong to me. Genuine emotional connection says, I see something unique in you specifically. Younger women can feel the difference immediately. One creates pressure, the other creates emotional closeness. When she feels genuinely appreciated for who she is beneath appearances, her attachment deepens fast. Maybe you remember tiny details she casually mentioned weeks ago. Maybe you notice changes in her mood before she explains them. Maybe your attention feels intentional instead of transactional. Those moments hit emotionally because they feel rare. Anyone can compliment beauty. Few people notice emotional details, and emotional attention creates emotional intimacy. This is why sometimes a younger woman becomes unexpectedly attached even when she never planned to. The emotional experience feels different from what she expected. Instead of feeling like another option, she feels emotionally valued in a specific and personal way. That changes how she thinks about you. Suddenly, your absence feels louder. Your messages feel more meaningful. Even ordinary moments with you feel emotionally charged, because attachment is not created through dramatic gestures alone. It is built through repeated emotional experiences that feel safe, intentional,